You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. Let me ask you something. What if I told you that 5 minutes could change your whole day, and one decision could change your life? That's not hype, that's habit, that's discipline, that's progress. See, progress doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for consistency, and consistency is what separates the winners from the wishers. Now, I wasn't always consistent. I used to wake up and let the day take me wherever it wanted. Some days were good, most were just, ordinary, and then I learned something powerful, something that shifted the course of my entire life. You don't need to do everything every day. You just need to do something that matters every day, no matter what. Most people struggle to make progress because they're unclear about what they truly want. It's not that they lack time or ability, it's that they haven't defined their destination. You can't hit a target you can't see. Vague goals like "I want to be successful" or "I want to be happy" don't inspire action because they don't give the mind something concrete to work toward. Clarity creates focus, and focus drives momentum. When you're clear about your goals, your energy naturally aligns with your priorities. You stop chasing distractions, and you start investing your time where it counts. Clarity isn't just about setting goals. It's about making them asterisk specific asterisk. Want to improve your health? Don't just say, "I need to work out more." Say, "I'm going to walk for 30 minutes at 7 a.m. every weekday." That kind of clarity removes the guesswork. It builds accountability. It makes it easy to track progress and notice improvement. Without clarity, every day becomes a gamble. With clarity, every day becomes a step. You don't need to know every detail of your future, but you do need to define your next milestone. You need a compelling reason to act. That reason pulls you forward, especially on days when motivation is low. When you wake up knowing exactly what matters today, you're not overwhelmed by choices. You're guided by purpose. Progress begins the moment you stop wishing and start deciding. A clear goal turns wishful thinking into practical action. And once you experience the power of clarity, once you see how much faster you move when you stop spinning your wheels, you'll never go back to vague intentions again. Decide what matters, define it clearly, then commit to it daily. That's how progress truly begins. The way you begin your day shapes everything that follows. Most people roll out of bed, check their phones, and immediately let the outside world dictate their focus, mood, and energy. They react instead of lead. But if you want to make consistent progress, you have to take control of your morning. It's not about waking up at 4 a.m. or having a perfect routine. It's about starting your day with intention instead of distraction. The first hour is your chance to set the tone, train your focus, and choose your direction. What you do in those early moments sends a message to your mind. Either you're in charge or the world is. When you begin with purpose, even something as simple as reading a few pages of a good book, journaling your thoughts, or planning your top 3 priorities, you take control of your state. You put yourself in a position of strength. This isn't about being busy right away. It's about building clarity and momentum before the chaos of the day begins. Momentum is easier to maintain than it is to start from scratch. If you begin your morning with calm focus and clear intention, you're much more likely to carry that energy throughout your day. On the other hand, if you begin your day reacting to messages, social media, or random demands, you start from a place of distraction, and it's hard to recover from that. Progress isn't just what you do, it's how you approach what you do, and your approach starts with how you begin your day. If you want to win the day, start by owning the morning. Even 10 minutes of intentional focus can shift your mindset and give you an edge. The first hour is a small window, but it opens the door to daily progress. One of the most powerful things you can do to build lasting progress is to keep the promises you make to yourself. These promises might seem small, waking up at a certain time, sticking to a daily habit, or finishing a task you committed to, but they carry weight. Every time you follow through, you build self-trust. Every time you break your own word, you weaken that trust. It's not just about discipline, it's about identity. You start to believe in yourself more when your actions match your intentions. Progress is not fueled by motivation alone. Motivation fades. What remains is the reputation you've built with yourself. If you consistently say, "I'll start tomorrow," and then don't, your mind starts to accept that pattern. On the other hand, if you say, "Just one small thing today," and you do it even when you don't feel like it, you send yourself a message: "I follow through. I finish what I start." The danger isn't in the size of the missed promise, it's in the pattern. If you tell yourself you'll go for a short walk today and you skip it, that decision echoes louder than you think. But the good news is, the same is true for keeping it. When you keep a promise, no matter how small, you strengthen your resolve, your identity, and your ability to do hard things. It's not about perfection. You will slip. Everyone does. But if you make it your mission to keep at least one meaningful promise to yourself each day, you'll start to see steady, undeniable progress. That one small action builds integrity, confidence, and momentum. And from that momentum, bigger breakthroughs begin. You don't have to prove anything to anyone else. Just prove to yourself that your word means something. That's where real growth starts. Progress isn't the result of massive leaps taken once in a while. It's the outcome of small, consistent actions repeated over time. Most people underestimate the power of daily effort because the results aren't instant. You don't see the body change after one workout. You don't become a great writer after one page. But that's the point. True transformation is quiet at first. It builds slowly, almost invisibly, until one day the results are impossible to ignore. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. The key is to make small actions so manageable that you can do them every single day, no matter what. 5 minutes of focused reading, one healthy meal, a short walk, writing a single paragraph. These may seem too minor to matter, but done daily, they begin to stack. Each repetition becomes part of your foundation. Each day builds on the one before it. And soon, what once felt like effort starts to feel like identity. This compounding effect works like interest in a bank account. At first, the growth is slow, but stay consistent and it begins to multiply. The same principle applies to skills, habits, and character. You don't notice much at first, but after weeks, months, and years of steady action, the results become exponential. This is where most people give up. They want instant payoff, and when they don't get it, they quit. But the ones who succeed understand that every small step is part of a bigger journey. You don't need to do everything today. You just need to do something that moves you forward. When you show up daily, even in small ways, you prove that you're serious about growth. And over time, those small actions don't just make a difference. They make all the difference. Making progress isn't just about what you do during the day. It's also about how you end the day. Taking a few minutes to reflect can be the difference between aimless activity and purposeful growth. Most people move from one day to the next without ever pausing to ask themselves if they're actually improving. They stay busy, but they don't always get better. Reflection creates awareness, and awareness leads to adjustment. That's where real progress happens. At the end of each day, ask yourself 2 simple questions. What did I do today that moved me forward? What can I do differently tomorrow? These aren't complicated, but they're powerful. They help you identify what's working and what's not. They turn experience into insight. Without this kind of review, you're just repeating the same day over and over. With it, you're refining your approach, sharpening your focus, and learning from every step. Reflection also gives you the chance to celebrate small wins, something most people overlook. We're often so focused on what's next that we forget to acknowledge what we've already done. But progress thrives on recognition. When you take time to notice your effort, even if the result isn't perfect, you reinforce positive behavior. You train your mind to value growth. This practice only takes a few minutes, but its impact is long, lasting. It keeps you grounded, honest, and clear. You begin to notice patterns, times when you thrive, habits that slow you down, opportunities you've missed. And each night becomes a reset point, a quiet moment where you choose to grow rather than drift. You don't need a journal full of words, just a habit of paying attention. Because the more aware you are of your own journey, the more intentional you become with every step forward. Every day won't go according to plan. There will be distractions, disappointments, and moments when your motivation fades. That's part of life. But progress isn't about being perfect from sunrise to sunset. It's about choosing not to give up, even when the day hasn't gone your way. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is the ability to finish strong, no matter how the day started. Even if the morning was wasted or the afternoon went off track, you can still make the decision to end the day with intention. This mindset separates people who keep growing from those who get stuck. Most people think if they mess up once, the whole day is ruined. They say, "I already broke my diet," or "I didn't get anything done today," and then give themselves permission to quit completely. But the truth is, the day isn't over until it's over. One good choice at the end of a bad day is still a win. It's still progress. It proves that you're not defined by your mistakes. You're defined by your response. This approach builds resilience. It teaches you that you always have control over your next move. That sense of agency is powerful. It stops one setback from turning into a spiral. And over time, you train your mind to look for opportunities instead of excuses, to finish with purpose instead of frustration. You don't have to redeem the whole day. Just choose one thing that brings you back to alignment. Maybe it's reading a page, taking a walk, writing a note of gratitude, or planning for tomorrow. That final decision shifts your focus and preserves your momentum. Progress is not about avoiding failure, it's about refusing to let failure be the final word. Finish strong every day gives you that chance.